Hi everyone, my name is Shabeli. I'm a board certified anesthesiologist assistant, and in this video, I'm going to be covering questions that I had about call and also some scheduling questions. If you're interested in that, keep on watching. Before I get into the video, please make sure that you hit the like button to support this channel and subscribe if you're interested in more content related to anesthesiologist assistants. All right, so now let's get into the video. Let's get into answering some questions about call. In terms of scheduling with call for me in my hospital, for the weekdays from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m., I can be asked to come into the hospital. And on the weekends from 7 a.m. until 7 a.m., 24 hours, I could be asked to come into the hospital as well. For me, that means that I'm paid overtime. Not all hospital systems are like this, and I'm going to be covering another example of what being on call can be for a different hospital system. So in terms of being on call, in my hospital, call is mandatory. In some hospitals, there are weekend teams or weeknight teams that will cover all of the weekend coverage overall. Or sometimes there will be residents that will cover the extra hours outside of like the normal business hours. But in my hospital, we are all anesthetists. We don't have residents that have any extra coverage on the nights or the weekends. We don't have any sort of nights team. We do call to cover the needs outside of normal business hours. Outside of those hours, it tends to be a lesser need, so that is kind of built into our schedule. We do have to do at least usually I think 1 or 2 weekends a month, and then like maybe 1 or 2 weeknights a month as well. So the way that my hospital pays for that is basically it ends up being like 2 hours of overtime for taking weeknight call, and there's also about like 4 hours of overtime for taking weekend call, and that's for 24 hours. So that's kind of nice. You already get paid to do this obligation. So like I've taken a couple of both of those calls. I've taken a lot of weekend calls, the 24-hour calls. And so it's nice to get the extra money, but some of the time, people won't get called in overnight, but most of the time on the weekends, people are called in. When I'm on call, I really don't have a set schedule for the day. Sometimes there will be nothing booked by anyone in the morning. And sometimes I'll have a couple cases that I can see on the schedule, and I'll do that maybe with the second person that's on call and come home, and then I never get called back in. So it's really kind of like a roll of the dice for my hospital. But one of my friends, he works in a place that has a night team. So usually for him, he gets called in a couple hours and usually never has to come back. For my hospital, it could be like finish one case, go home, find out that there's another case to do at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I would stay for a couple hours if there's more cases that have come up. Sometimes it can take some time to recover. It could be really busy. So it's a huge roll of the dice to know what's going to happen. But at the same time, we are compensated for that, and we're also fulfilling the need that the hospital has. So it ends up being a win-win for both parties. Some people don't want to do call, and that usually tends to be people that have worked for more time, and people that are newer, such as myself. It tends to be more of the younger people that pick up more call because again, it comes with extra pay and also with more cases to do and maybe get more experience under your belt. So newer people tend to take more of the call, and kind of like the more experienced people tend to give it up. At least that's the trend that I have seen. It's kind of like overtime that I can get into my schedule. I would say that I've done many calls a month on average, and there was some weekends where I would do like multiple weekends in a row just to get more experience, get more pay. So overall, it's been good. That could be something that people can look for when they're looking into hospitals. I know of a few hospitals that just have like teams or residents. I know of one hospital that is very specific kind of surgery that shouldn't ever really be an emergency, so they don't really have a lot of calls. So that's something to look into. Someone had asked me, do I feel like this specialty is lifestyle friendly? And I would say that overall, yes, it is. Again, you could kind of give up some calls or take more calls if you'd like, depending on your needs and your family's needs. For me, I'm with my partner, so he's been mostly okay with me taking on some of the calls, but there have been times where I've woken up in the middle of the night and it has like kind of disturbed him, so that's something to keep in mind too, especially if you have a family. It's not normal for my situation to work during the nights. That will always for me mean that I'm on call, and I got called in to come back to the hospital after like 7 p.m. So it's really lifestyle friendly overall. And if I didn't want to meet certain financial goals and I was just trying to do what my hospital signed me to do, then it would be even more lifestyle friendly. So, but I haven't really minded it because I've had goals in mind that I want to do, and my partner's also has certain goals, so it's kind of worked out for us for me to pick up more overtime. But yes, if I had a family, I definitely feel like it's lifestyle friendly. People can work 5/8, so come in around 7 a.m, get off at 3 p.m, and that's really nice to spend the rest of the afternoon with your family. I also know some people that will work 3 days a week, and then they'll get to be with their family 4 days out of the week, be at home and not be obligated to come into work. So I feel like those two kind of balance out for families. Some hospitals have 24-hour shifts and 16-hour shifts. If you can deal with that, that's something to consider. My hospital doesn't do that, and I'm now on the 10s, which I'm really happy about. So for me, that means that I get out around 5 p.m 4 days out of the week, and 1 one day out of the week I don't have to go into work. If I do, it would only be on overtime. I mean, I would be compensated for that, but that hasn't happened for me yet. So it's really nice for me on the 410s. And someone asked if being on this kind of schedule or being in anesthesia, is it friendly enough to travel? And I would say yes, it can be, but it's also kind of exhausting. I was able to visit family in Mexico for a weekend. I took, without taking PTO, I arranged it with one of my coworkers and friends for me to have like an extended weekend. And on this weekend, now she has an extended weekend. With the shifts that are available, if they are available in the hospital, people can arrange to have like maybe an extended weekend with their coworkers, or they might just have randomly extended weekends if their schedule changes every week. I'm actually now on a shift that most Fridays I will have off. If I don't have a Friday off, I have a Monday off. So I'll almost always have a 3-day weekend. Some weekends I have 4-day weekends. And if I have a 4-day weekend, then I'm followed up with a 2-day weekend. So it's been really nice. That does allow for more travel and for more personal time. It's really, really nice that my schedule tells me I will for sure have like Monday or Friday off. And that's not something that I've seen very frequently. I really value that schedule because again, it allows for me to travel and do things for my personal life without having to go into my PTO bank, and I can still kind of save that for bigger trips. So I really, really like that. So that's something to consider in terms of the lifestyle. I hope you found this quick Q&A about call helpful, and if you did, please make sure you support the channel by hitting the like button. Leave a comment down below if there's something that stuck out to you. Other than that, I plan on posting a vlog about call very soon. So if you're interested in that and want to be alerted about that as soon as it comes out, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted on when the next video is out. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will catch you all in the next video. See you.